Are any of you outraged that some millionaires and billionaires benefit from paying taxes more than the middle class and lower class do? That's right. Some people that have an income of millions or even billions of dollars actually benefit from paying taxes or don't have to pay taxes at all. The problem with rich people having to pay taxes is that it is way too easy for them to dodge taxes. According to investment news, as of 2015, the minority of millionaires and billionaires have become experts in shifting and labeling their income to lower the amount of their taxes that they have to pay. Unfortunately, tax avoidance is not legal in the United States, but can be easily mistaken for something called tax evasion, which is very illegal. This also affects many people because in the United States, because the richest 1% of Americans own 35% of the nation's wealth, and the bottom 80% of the richest Americans own 35% of the nation's wealth, or own 11% of the nation's wealth. Excuse me. This is significant because the less taxes the rich pay for, the more taxes the low and middle classes pay for. So it's our duty and our responsibility to make sure that the rich are paying their share of taxes by simply voting for a presidential candidate that is trying to fix this dilemma. So I will be breaking my topic into three main categories. The first category is problems, the second category is causes, and the third category is solutions. What people really want is fairness. They want people paying their fair share in taxes. Barack Obama. There are two main problems with the rich avoiding or not paying their taxes. First problem is that it is unfair for the lower and middle class, and the second problem is that it is that the government is losing a lot of tax money because of the rich. It is unfair to the first and middle class that the rich are using loopholes to lower or get out of paying taxes. It is unfair because there are hardworking citizens that don't deserve to get a lot of taxes, to get a lot of money taken out of their paychecks because of taxes. Also, coming during tax season, we also don't want to be paying a lot of money for taxes because sometimes we can get little to no return. According to American for Tax Fairness, the wealthiest Americans take unfair advantage of the many loopholes in the tax codes. The rest of us just pick up the tab. Along with the rich not paying taxes being unfair to us citizens, it is also a problem that as a result of the rich not paying what they owe for taxes, the government is raising taxes on people's education funds, Social Security, and Medicare. Excuse me. Because of the rich, the government is missing a portion of a lot of tax money, causing the government to take a small sum of money from people's benefits. After examining the problems, we must go on to discuss the causes behind this dilemma. The first cause is that the rich use many loopholes. The second cause that the rich are modifying their income rates. Since a minority of the super riches do not want to pay a higher tax rate, they find that they want to pay a higher. They find certain loopholes in tax codes, according to topaccountingdegrees.org. Wealthy individuals and businesses have 10 ways of making their tax rates much lower. Some of these loopholes include tax havens, stocks, gift giving, and the most popular loophole is called the capital gains tax. Capital gains tax is a tax on the profits from a sale of non-inventory assets originally purchased for a lesser amount. On the other hand, rich people are modifying their income to lower their tax rates as low as possible. According to Money Tips, as of 2017, it is possible for mega rich to take a higher portion of their income as dividends. Moving on from our causes, which are 1, using loopholes, and 2, modifying incomes, we are going to move on to solutions for this dilemma. There are two possible solutions to stopping the rich from not paying taxes. The first solution is eliminating all loopholes. The second solution is raising taxes on the rich. There are a few different ways to eliminating all loopholes, which will make it even harder for the rich to pay less in taxes or to pay for no taxes at all. According to Americans for Tax Fairness, in order to close tax loopholes for the wealthy, the Buffett rule would have to be passed. The Buffett rule is ironically inspired by a billionaire named Warren Buffett, and it is required to have millionaires pay a minimum tax of 30%. Also, closing the Wall Street loophole would help because wealthy managers use a loophole to pay tax rates for managing other people's money. And the last way to eliminate the payroll is to eliminate the payroll tax loophole for S corporations. Now, this loophole allows many people to use S corporations to avoid payroll taxes. By raising the tax rate to 60% for the people who make an income above $1 million, will also make it harder for them to dodge taxes. According to Harry Dent, writer for Economy and Markets, the best solution is higher taxes because a higher tax on $1 million would affect the top 1% of million and billionaires. By doing so, this will guarantee that the wealthy will not pay a smaller share of other income in taxes than a middle class family pays. In addition, they will pay the same rate as others, but in their own income level. So to recap, all we can do to end rich people from paying taxes is simply voting for someone who is in the presidential election that is fighting for equal and fair tax rates for the lower and middle classes. I lost my spot here. So to conclude, the problem with wealthier people having to pay less taxes or having to pay no taxes at all is that it is unfair for the lower middle class because there are hard workers out there that don't deserve to have a lot of taxes taken out of their paychecks and don't deserve no returns during their yearly tax. So let's be honest. Do you really think that it's fair for some millionaires and billionaires to not have them pay taxes? But you are.